Amadium. Mayakal, present thyself.
Maikala, Banga, Boyashal.
Maikala, Banga, Bayashal.
Yabashim Yashar Baktham.
Yahaba Shim Yashar Barakatah.
Ma Yashal.
Amadium, Wapanya, Hakwadam, which means rise and face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, then in the English.
In the Hebrew, Abinah,
Shabbat Shemayim, Kodah, Hayah, Shabkat, Yahweh,
Malak Wavka,
Lava'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazah, Kawa, Hayah,
Bashemayim,
Nathanael, Lakam, Yawam,
What's locked now?
Waslak now,
What now?
Kawat now,
What's locked now?
Kaslak now,
What now?
Kawat now,
Wala now.
Let me eye now.
Wala sa one.
Let us say one.
Ball.
A ball.
I was shy now.
I was shine now.
Ayan.
Ayan.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
Laka.
Look up.
Awalakwa.
I'm a lakwa.
Wala ala.
Well, her Allah.
Wala apa. Waha. Patara.
Well, how to pot rock?
La awalami.
Well, I will love you.
Aman.
I'm on. In the English. Our Father,
Apa.
which art in heaven,
Which art in heaven.
hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth
In earth.
as it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day
This is the day.
our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
And forgive us our debt
Give us our debt.
as we forgive our debt.
We forgive our debt.
And lead us not
Lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
Thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
So be.
So be it. I got the power. Yahweh Hashem.
Yahweh Hashem.
Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Open Shah.
Baruch Shah.
Nathana now.
Nathanael now.
Hakat.
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 Lamapa. Lamapa.
Lord Pa'ah.
Call. Makala.
Come Allah.
Wakal. Wak.
Mukal Baruch.
Hakat.
Hakat.
That's a hard.
Let's a heart.
How about Tazariah?
How much that's right?
Hakat.
Hakat.
Lahak. Lahak.
Lahaknim.
Lahak.
Amatnim.
Hakat.
Hakat.
Al. Wakal. Wak.
Arakal Wa.
Hata. Hata Ma'al.
Hatama'ala.
Yahweh Shah.
Lord Shah.
Hashem.
Hashem.
Yahweh
Yahweh Shah.
Shah.
The what? Aman. In the English. Yahweh the name Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh.
Please give us the power.
Please give us the power.
The power to heal all manner of sickness.
Power to heal all men of sin.
And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers.
Power to cleanse the leper.
The power to raise the dead.
Power to raise the dead.
The power against unclean spirits.
Power against unclean spirits.
To cast them out.
Cast them out.
In the name of Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shah.
Thank you. So be it.
Psalm 121, Hebrew. Aisha.
Aisha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al.
Al.
Ahari.
Ahari.
Ayanya.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yama'ah.
Azari.
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 Amam.
Ma'am.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shemaiah.
Shemaiah.
Well, I rushed it up.
Well, I wrap this up.
Ayatan.
Are you done?
My watch.
Number what?
Galka.
Regalka.
Ayana
Ayana one.
Shabarka.
Shamarka.
Enough.
Enough.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yahana. Yadawam.
Yana one.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yashan.
Yayishan.
Shawabah.
Shamamar.
Yasha'al.
Yasha'al.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Zalka.
Gazalka.
Al-Yah.
Al-Yah.
Yamika.
Yamika.
Yawamah.
Yamma.
Hashemash.
Hashemash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Yalak.
Balayah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shabarka.
Yashamarka.
Yakara.
Makamra.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Ata. Nastapat. Ata. Not. Askapashka.
Abdapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Tazayah.
Tazafka.
Wawaka.
Wawaka.
Wawaka. Mayata.
Wayata.
Why?
Why?
I love you.
I will love.
I will love.
I will love. Among.
Among.
In the English. I will lift up my eyes to the hill.
I will lift up my eyes to the hill.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from your house.
My help cometh from your house.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee,
He that keepeth thee,
he will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Israel,
that keepeth Israel,
shall neither slumber nor
shall
sleep.
neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day,
Thou shalt not strike thee by day,
nor the moon by night.
nor the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out,
and thy coming
and
in
thy coming in.
from this time forth,
This time forth,
even forevermore.
and forevermore. Psalm 83 in Hebrew. Lahayim.
Alahayim.
Al W W
Al-Damiyah.
Makah.
Makah.
Al
Al.
Takarach.
Takarach.
Al Tashakwat.
Wa al-Tashakwat.
Al
Al.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Hana.
Hana.
Awayamika.
Awayamika.
Ahawayawan.
Yahweh Yawan.
Wamashanayaka.
Wamashanayaka.
Washa'awa.
Nasha'awa.
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 Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Aimaka.
Al-Amaka.
Ya'arayawan.
Yahweh Yawan.
Sawan.
Sawan.
Waya. Saya. Al-Tazawa.
Where you find Al-Tazawa.
Al-Tazawa. Al-Tazawanyaka.
Al-Tazawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Makawa.
Makawa.
Wanakakia.
Wanakakia.
Garawa.
Magolia.
Gari. Wana'a.
Wala'ah.
Yazaka.
Yasakar.
Sham Yasha'al.
Sham Yasha'al.
Why?
Iwa.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa. I Tazawa.
Nawa I Tazawa.
La Yukadwa.
La Yakadwa.
Al Yukad.
Al Yakad.
Barak.
Baryah.
Yakarafa.
Yakaratwa.
Aholia.
Aholia.
Adagwa.
Adawam.
Wayashimai Aliyam.
Wamashamai Aliyam.
Mawa
Mawa'aba.
Hagari.
Wahagari.
Wall.
Gabal.
One.
Wa'amawan.
Amalak.
Wa'amalak.
Palasha.
Palasha.
I am Yeshabi.
I'm Yeshabia.
Of the war.
Times of war.
Alasha war.
Gamash war.
Another war.
Another war.
I am up.
I'm up.
Mom. Ayawa.
How you what? Zeruiah,
Labanya,
Labanya,
Lawak,
Lawak,
Salah,
Salah,
Aishalam,
Aishalaham,
Aishalaham, Kamadi,
Kamadi,
Kaya, Kasa, Yasara,
Kasiyasara'ah,
Kayabim,
Kabyabim,
Balakal,
Balakal,
for your son,
for Yashua,
verse 10, Shabbat. Nashimadwa,
Neshamadwa,
Rayan,
Bayan,
Rayan the Ara,
Bayan the Ira,
Ayawa,
Hayawa,
the Man,
Daman,
the Adam,
La Adama,
Shayatam,
Shayathamwa,
Nada, Yab,
Nayayamua,
Ka'ara,
Kaira,
Waka, Zaba,
Wakasa'aba,
Bak,
Wakasabak,
Lamana,
Wakasazomana,
Kau Nasaya, Kam,
Call Nasayakamwa,
Ashar,
Ashar,
Amawa,
Amarwa,
Naya,
Narasha,
Nawa,
Manoah,
Thug,
Ah,
Na'ara,
Na'awah,
Ala, Alahaya,
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 Shayatam,
Shayathamwa,
Gagla,
Kagagala,
Quash,
Kakwash, Lapanjiraka,
Ka'ash,
Ka'ash,
Ira,
Kaba Ira Ira,
Wakala, Haba,
Wakala Haba,
Kalawat,
Lahat,
Hari,
Haria, Khan,
Saradatma,
Saradatma,
Rayaka,
Vasairaka,
Ira, Wapaka,
Vavasavapaka,
Hari,
Vavaholia, Mala'ah, Panyaham, Qualawan, where you go Quashwa, Shamka, Yahweh, Yabashwa, where you Bahola, Eye, where you Kaparwa, where you Wabadwa, where you Da'aiwa, Kaya, Atha, Shamka, Yahweh, Labadka, Ayawan, Alka, Haratiza, Aman. And in the English, keep not thy silence on your house. Hold not thy peace. And be not still on your house. For love, thy enemies may be tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation. That the name of Israel may be no more remembered. For they have consulted together with one consent
sick.
They are confederate against
They are
thee.
confederate against
The
thee.
tabernacles of Edom,
Tabernacles of Edom.
and the
And
Israelites,
the Israelites.
of Moab, and the Hagarene, Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Asher is also joined with them.
Asher also is joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
The hope of the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah.
do unto them,
Do unto them.
as unto the Midianites,
Unto the Midianites.
as to Sisera,
Sister Sarah.
as to Jabin,
Sister Ben.
as the brook of Kisar,
The son.
with Paris and Endor.
First and
Then
Endor.
the king was done from the earth.
And the king was done for the earth.
Make their nose like a rat,
And their nose like a
and
rat.
like Zahab,
Like the head.
yea, all the
All
princes,
their princes.
and Sabah,
And
and
Zabah.
as Zamuna,
And the moon.
who said,
Who said,
let's take to
let's
ourselves
take to ourselves
the house of Yahweh
the house of your house.
in possession.
In possession.
Oh, my
Oh,
power,
my power.
make it like a wheel,
Make it like a wheel.
as a stubble from the wind,
And stubble for the wind.
as the fire burn the wood,
And the fire burns the wood.
as the flames set the mountains on fire.
And the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
Persecute them.
with thy tempest,
Without temper.
and make them afraid
Make them afraid.
with thy storm.
Without storm.
Fill their faces with
Take
shame,
their faces with
that
shame.
they may seek thy name.
They seek thy name.
Oh, Yahweh,
Oh, your house.
let them be confounded
To be confounded.
and troubled
Trouble.
forever.
Forever.
Yea,
Yeah.
let them be put to shame
To put to shame.
and perish,
Perish.
that men may know
That they may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is your house,
art the most high
most high
over all the earth.
on earth.
So be it.
So be it. Blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Yahweh Shah.
Why Yahweh Shah?
Wamaya Kalala.
Why Yahweh Allah?
Laharia.
Why Allahayim?
Matazaba. Ya'ah.
But to Zab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ah. Nawat.
Allah.
Yahana.
Yahana. Ha'alawatnim. Hasaranyim. Hakwatazayanyim. Hakayayalim. Waha'agwatnim. Yahweh. Yashim Yahushua. The water of mine. And in the English. Bless you, Yahweh. And Yahushua. And Michael. And the angel. Command General Yahweh. The general. The captain. The officer. The troopers. And the sisters. Yahweh name Yahushua. Thank you. So be it.
Bless Israel in Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Barak Lanam.
Barak Lanam.
Waya Jamarka. Waya Sha'al.
Wa'asha Allah.
Waha Barak.
Waha'bayah.
Pur.
Sapari.
Barak.
Barak.
Pur.
Rapa'ah.
Pur.
Rapa'ah.
Gun.
Magan.
A gun.
Hagan.
Washimaya. Wahashem.
Wahashem.
Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Wadaman.
The water of mine. And in the English. Yahweh name Yahushua. Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel. And the school.
And the school.
Bless. Heal.
Heal.
Shield. Protect. In the name of Yahushua.
Yahushua.
Thank you. So be it. People know this. Yeshavian. Yeshavian. Last time we finished off in Exodus 22, verse 23. Today we're going to start in Exodus 22 and read verses 24 through 30, first in the Hebrew, then in the English. Exodus chapter 22, verse 24 through 30. Exodus chapter 2, verse 24 in the Hebrew. Rakara, Apya, Waharagathya, Afkam, Bakara, Wahayawa, Nashyakam, Alaman Nawaf, Wabanyakam, Yathamyam, verse 25. Kasa, Balawa, Off, Anya, Off, Ha'anya, Amak, La'a, Vahaya, Lawa, Kanasha, La'a, Vasha Yamawan, Al-Yawa, Nashak, verse 26. Kabal, Thakabal, Shalamath, Ra'aika, Aid, Ba'a, Hashamash, Fash Yabanwa, Lawa, verse 27. Exodus 22, verse 27. Kaya, Hawa'a, Kasawatha, Labada, Hawa'a, Shamalahwa, La'arwa, Bama, Yashakab, Wahaya, Kaya, Yataza'ai, Alya, Washama'aya, Kaya, Kanawan, Anya, verse 28. Alahayim, La'a, Bakwalal, Wanash Ya'a, Ba'ainka, La'a, Fa'ar, verse 29. Mala'afka, Wadam Ma'aika, La'a, Ba'akar, Bakawar, Banyaka, Fafan, Laya, verse 30. Khan, Fa'aisha, Lasharka, Fataza'anka, Shaba'aith, Yam, Yahaya, Ain, Iwa, Bayawam, Hashamayanya, Fathanwa. Laya. And that's it.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 23. Yeah, verse 24. And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. Verse 25. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as an usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury. Verse 26. If thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it unto him by that the sun goeth down.
So this is showing how you're not supposed to take advantage of your neighbor. Okay, this is all showing how to be brotherly to your brother, your people, and not taking advantage. Okay, how to deal with your brother, how to do business with your brother. Come and talk about your kin.
Verse 27. For that is his covering only. It is his raiment for his skin wherein shall he sleep. And it shall come to pass, when he crieth unto me, that I will hear, for I am gracious. Verse 28. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people. Verse 29. Thou shalt delay to offer Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of the ripe fruits, and thy liquors, the firstborn of thy son, shalt thou give unto me. Verse 30. Likewise shalt thou do with thine oxen, and with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam. On the 8th day thou shalt give it to me.
Amaya? Yaasha, present thyself.
Yaasha, Banga, Banyashala.
Yaasha, Banga, Banyashala.
Yabashma Shabakta.
Yahaba Shimya Shabrakata. Yeshavian. Now we're in, for people just joining us, we're in Exodus chapter 22. Now we're going to read verse 31, and then we're in Exodus, and then we'll go to Exodus chapter 23, 1 through 6. Exodus chapter 22, verse 31 in the Hebrew. Anash, wa Anashya, Quadash, Bahayan 1, Laya, wa Bashar, Bashada, Tarapa, La'a, Tha'akowa, Tha'kolab, Tha'kalab, Salakia, Tha'shalakawan, Ahwa. Exodus chapter 23, verse 1 in the Hebrew. La'a, Tha'sha'a, Shamai, Shawa'a, all, Tha'shaf, Yadka, Ain, Rashai, Lahayah, Ain, Hamas. Verse 2. La'a, Thahayah, Akaria, Rabyam. We're in verse 2, sir. Exodus 23, verse 2. Lara'if, 23, Salakia. Exodus chapter 23, verse 2. Wala'a, Fa'aina, Al, Rab, Lanataf, Akaria, Rabyam, Lahataf, Wadal, La'a, Fahadar, Barayabak, Salakia, Barayabwa. Verse 4. Kaya, Fapagai, Shawar, Ayaka, Awa, Chamarwa, Fa'aiha, Hashab, Fash Yabat, Fashay Yabanwa, Lawa. Verse 5. Come, sir. You talking about the sun? I've heard some people say it's not supposed to be there. You're not supposed to read others. I can read it. I've just heard it back and forth, so I can read it. Sun. I think I heard Joel Key say that. That's not really. I thought I heard Joel Key. That's why I go like that. Verse 5. Kaya. Ra'aiha. Kamawar. Shana'aka. Rabataza'ah. Fakaf. Masha'awa. Wakadalaf. Come. Rabatazah. What's the problem? Rabatazah. Rabatazah. Come. That sounds right. Rabatazah. No, it might be Rabatazah. Rabatazah. Thakaf. Masha'ahwa. Wakadalaf. Ma'izab. Lawa. Izab. The Izab. Ainwa. Sa. Verse 6. La'a. Fatah. Mashapat. Abayanka. Barayabwa. And that's it. We're in Exodus chapter 22. Then reading up to verse 31. And then read chapter 23, 1 to 6.
Exodus chapter 22, verse 31. And ye shall be holy men unto me, neither shall ye eat any flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs. Chapter 23, Exodus chapter 23, verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in a case to decline after many speak in a cause to decline after many to rest judgment.
Stop right there for a second. And you notice right here in verse 2 where it says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. We're seeing that with the election. Have you noticed when people say, hey, I'll take the lesser of two evils? So they're still following the multitude. You're not supposed to follow any evil. So that just goes contrary to the scripture. You know, because people will say, well, I had to pick the lesser of two evils. No, you didn't. The scripture says, thou shalt not follow a multitude. You're not supposed to go after a party that's evil, that does evil. You want to add something?
Verse 3. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. Verse 4. If thou meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. Verse 5. If thou see the ass of him that hateth thee lying under his burden, and will this forbear to help him, thou shalt surely help him with him.
Stop right there. Now, if you notice here also, this is always talking about you dealing with your brother, your neighbor, even of the ones that you might have had an issue with. This, because the theme here is to always restore brotherhood. So even in common today, if you drive and you see one of your brothers or neighbors have a flat tire, and maybe you don't have the best relationship, you are still to help that brother. Because the goal is to restore relationships. That's the goal, is to restore a relationship between you and that brother. Or maybe you and that sister. You are not supposed to, ignore if you see one of your brothers or your sisters in need. This is right here because the goal here is to always restore those relationships.
Verse 6. Thou shalt not rest the judgment of thy poor in his cause.
Maju. Wamagala, present thyself.
Wamagala, bangga, banyasal.
Wamagala, bangga, banyasal.
Haba simya sabraktam.
Yahaba Shinya Shabrakata. Shopping. We're now in Exodus chapter 23. We're going to read verses 7 through 13 in the Hebrew first.
Three and 7 in Hebrew. Wadabar. Quar. Cock. Laquaya. Laquaya. Wataza. Watazada. Yakwa. Wataza. Watazada. Watazada. Esta.
Taza and Adar connected. But the Zad, yeah.
Tazad.
Yeah,
Tazad. Yakwa.
with the Zad, yeah.
Watazad. Yak. Watazad. Yak.
Come on, sir.
Oh. The Ha'arga. The Harag.
Come.
The Harag. Kaya. La. The Ah.
Come.
Atazad. Atazad. Atazad Yuak. Atazad Yak.
Come.
Russia. Rashad. Yeah, Rashad.
Rashad. Come.
Rashad. Rashad.
Come.
Ma'ah.
Come.
Quack. Kaya. Shak. Rashad.
Come.
The Iowa.
Come.
The Iowa.
Come.
The Iowa.
The high war. Come.
The Iowa.
Come.
Quacking.
Come.
Kaya one. Kaya one left. Kaya Shalak.
Fuck answer. Where it's a lot.
The last one was Shalak. The volume.
Come.
warrior. Yeah, warrior.
So I think it's almost like we're going by twos here. So the first two are connected, the second two are connected, and the last two are connected. So it'd be like Tazayakyon. So the Taza and the Da are connected. So it'd be Tazayakyon. Come.
Six. Razar.
Come. 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 Shunyam, sir. Shunyam. There's a ride. Come. Out. Come. A rat is a cup. Come. 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 Sabo asa. Come. Ice. Wahashaba ya ice. Wahashaba ya ice. Come. The Shama Tanakh. Come. Wuna Tashitha. Wanatashantha. Come. Wakawa. Come. Come. Ainka. Come. Come. Bring it some rum. Come. A call. Come. Khaya. Come. The Shadda. Come. 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 Lakarunka. Come. 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 Yum yum. Come. Aisha. Come. Aisha. Come. Aisha. Come. Come. Ashabaya Aya. Ashabaya Aya. Come. 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 You know, rock. Come. Shawarka. Come. 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 Marat. Come. 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 Khan. 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 Akario. Khan. Come. Khan. Does it Kayarwa? Does it Kayarwa? Come. 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 Play your cut. Come.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked.
And this fits right in. The Most High is not going to justify the wickedness. So if you try to go along with unrighteous politicians, the Most High is not going to justify that. He's not going to justify and say, "Oh well, I saw that you picked the lesser of two evils." He's not going to justify that.
Verse 8. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise, and the perverted the words of the righteous. Verse 9. Also thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing ye where ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. Verse 10.
And let me clarify too. When this is talking about strangers, the Most High, that we were scattered amongst the nations. So some people were not native born in the land of Israel. There could be an Israelite that was born outside in another country and coming in. You were not to oppress them. This does not include us having the in the kingdom when the Most High, when the Yahweh shall returns, that we will have our servants. And the precept of that is Isaiah 14, okay, and Isaiah 49. So this is not talking about just anybody. The stranger here is you're not supposed to oppress one of your brothers that was not native born in that land. If they come, you are not to oppress them. People.
Verse 10. And 6 years thou shalt sow thy land, and shalt gather in the fruits thereof. Verse 11. But the 7th year thou shalt let in rest, and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat, and what they leave the beast of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt do with thy vineyard and thy olive yard. Verse 12. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the 7th day shalt rest, that thine ox and thine ass may rest. Then the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed.
So if you have a business or anything, you were not supposed to require your employees to work on the Sabbath. This is talking about the 7th day Sabbath. you are to give them that day off, because that should be a day for them, okay, where they can do things. Okay, you're not supposed to require them to work on that day.
Verse 13. And all in things that I have said unto you, you be circumspected, circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth.
And this also includes, when it's talking about other gods, it's talking about other powers. And see, that's why we as Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives should be talking about these politicians. Because we shouldn't be, I think Trump and Biden, that should not be on our minds, those powers. See, because sometimes people, going after other gods also includes going after other leaders, okay, other power, people in position. We are not to go after that or lust after that. That's why, as we Blacks, Hispanics, and Natives should be affiliating ourselves with a Republican or a Democrat or whatever. Okay, we shouldn't be affiliated, because that's going after other gods or other power. We should be having conversations talking about, I really think Biden's correct. Okay, because there, first of all, we should have a stranger, and when I mean stranger, I'm talking about a heathen ruling over our people anyway. Black people should be running and I'm so proud Biden's in the lead. He's not one of us. Yasha, present thyself.
Yasha, Banga, Bunya Shala.
Yasha, Banga, Bunya Shala.
Yabashim Yasha Bakta.
Yahabashim Yasha Bakta. Yashabi. We are now in Exodus chapter 23. We're reading verses 14 through 20 in the Hebrew. Exodus chapter 23, verse 14. Shalash, Regalium, Fakag, Layah, Bashana. Verse 15. Af, Kag, and that's of course feast. When we say Kag. Hamatazawaf, Shamar, Shaba'ith, Yum, Ba'akal, Matazawaf, Ka'ashar, Tazawayafka, Lama Wa'aid, Kadash, Ha'abyab, Kayak, Bawa, Yataza Af, Mamatazarium, Wala'ah, Yara'awa, Panya, Rayaquam, verse 16. Wakag, Hakwatazayar, Bakawarya. Ma'ain. So like it. Ma'aishyaka. Ashar. The Zerai. Bashada. Wakab. Ha'asap. But Taza'af. Hashana. But Asaka. Af. Ma'aish. Ma'aish Yaka. Man. Hashada. Verse 17. Shalash. Pa'ainam. Bashana. Yara'ah. Shalaki. Yara'ah. Call. Zakawarka. Al. Hanya. Ha'adan. Yahweh. Verse 18. La'ah. The Sabak. You see the word Zabak, sacrifice. Zabak. Al. Kamaktaza. Dam. Zabakya. Wala'ah. Yalayan. Kalab. Khadya. Aid. Bakwar. Verse 19. Ra'ashya. Bakawar. Yeah. Bakawarya. Adamafka. Fabaya'ah. Bayaf. Yahweh. Alahayaka. La'ah. The Bashal. Gadya. Bakalab. Amwa. Verse 20. Oh, Sa. Verse 20. Hana. Anakya. Shalak. Mala'ak. Lapanyaka. Lashamarka. Barak. Walahab by Ya'aka. Oh. Hamakwa 1. So like it. Hamakwa 1. So what? Ashar. Hakanafya. And that's it. We're now in Exodus chapter 23, verse 14 through 20 in the English. Exodus chapter 23, verse 14. Exodus chapter 23, verse 14.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 14. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast unto me in the year.
Stop right there. And you know, those 3 times, that's when we were in our land. We would travel to Jerusalem those 3 times. Those 3 times in those 3 seasons of the year.
Verse 15. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days. Unleavened. Unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, and the time appointed of the month, Abib. For in it thou camest out from Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. Verse 16. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. Verse 17.
And those feast days, we actually just observed with first fruits. In gathering with the Feast of Tabernacles. I'm thinking we're still waiting on the word for Passover and unleavened bread. But those are the feast days that we just observed. Keep going.
Verse 17. 3 times in the year all thy males shall appear before the Lord God. Verse 18. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until the morning. Verse 19. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring into the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seeth a kid in his mother's milk. Verse 20.
I just want to break that down real quick.
Come.
Can you read that? You want to ask me that?
I was going to ask you what that meant, too, sir.
Read it again.
Thou shalt not read the whole verse 19?
Yes.
The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring unto the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seeth a kid in his mother's milk.
Now, a Jewish man is going to read that and say, okay, I can't put cheese on a goddamn hamburger. Which is, because cheeseburgers are delicious. I don't know if y'all know. Cheese, Kobe Jack on, listen, come on. That's not what that means. You know, Kobe Jack, right? That's not what that means. This is basically saying you can't slaughter a calf. It's not ready to, it's like, you can't, it's not ready to be eaten yet. You gotta let it grow. You gotta let it process. You gotta let it breastfeed. You gotta let it grow, you know. It ain't ready to be slaughtered yet. That's what it's talking about. It ain't saying you can't eat a goddamn cheeseburger or drink coffee and eat some scrambled eggs. You know what I'm saying? Veal is unlawful. That veal, like you think you eat some premium cut lamb. Veal is just a baby lamb. You're not even supposed to eat that. Don't be Jewish. Being Jewish is you're gonna be breaking the law. You're gonna be eating tuna fish, eating veal. You know what I'm saying? Scared to eat a goddamn cheeseburger. It's a horrible life. I mean, good night. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that too. Come on, forget about it, man. But I just want to clarify that a lot of people get confused about that because even when we find our nationality, we want to look towards the white man still. And our oppressor does not know how to keep our law. You understand? I just wanted to clarify that. That's all. No sweat. No sweat.
Verse 20. Behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee unto the place which I have prepared.
Somebody? Yamakala, Mayaka Allah, present thyself, Salakia.
Maikala, Banga, Boyashal.
Mayaka Allah, Banga Banyashal.
Yabashim Yasha Baktam.
Yahabashim Yashabakta. Yishabian. We're actually going to come. 21 to 27.
Ashamar. Mapanyawa. Shamai. Makwala.
You had it first.
Qual. Ow. Tamar. Bun.
Also blood.
What? Kaya. Yeah. Yasha. La Pasha Akum. Kaya. Shamaya. Shamaya. Yeah. Tamar. Shemai. Shemai. Ashar. At the bar. What I am. Tazar. Yeah. Tazar.
What's up, Rapia?
Ras.
Come.
Ras. Tazar. 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 Yeah.
I'm thinking that's Tazar Raya Ka.
Tazar Raya.
Come. Tazar Raya Ka.
Kaya. Yalak. Yalak.
Come.
Malakia.
Come. Malaakia. Come. 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 Oh. Is that all? Oh, so like person.
Mariah.
Mario.
Mario.
Come. Copy. Yeah. Come. Parasia. Come. Yeah, yeah, it's connected. Come. Watch. Come. Kadafia. What? Come. That's your code. Yeah, come, yeah. Kawa. That's your kawa. Come. Khan. Khan. Get it. Ivan. Khan. Two words up. Khan. Oh, slack. And you know, we know Barak, we always say that when we salute, like bless. Barak. My yum you cut. Khan. Khan. It's something, yeah, it's like water. Your water. Khan. Rakia. Khan. Khan. Makorabka. Khan. Come.
Yeah.
Come.
Masha.
Mashakala.
Masha Kala.
Come. Aikora. Come. Come. Barak. Barak is a come. Barak is a come. 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 Yamika. Come. Come. Ayamah. Come. Shalak. Come. 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 When I stop you, come. 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 Yamika. Come. Come. All you come. Come. We're now in Exodus chapter 23, 1 through 20. I'm sorry, Exodus chapter 23, 21 through 27 in the English. Exodus chapter 23, 21 through 27.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 21. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him.
If I may. So this is showing that the angel that was leading them was not to be played with. Okay? And the angels of the Most High, they have jobs, they have certain jobs that they will do, and they will carry it out. And so the Most High is even warning you, do not, play with his angels.
Verse 22. But if thou shalt indeed obey his voice, and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy unto thine enemies, and an adversary unto thine adversaries. Verse 23. For mine angel shall go before thee and bring thee in unto the Amorites, Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off.
Stop right there. This shows that we don't have to get tanks and go to war with the heathen that's among us or in our community. If we turn back to the law, statutes, and commandments, the Most High will actually fight for us, and He will drive them out. But see, our problem is we become enslaved. We as a people, when we turn our back on the law, statutes, and commandments, we become enslaved to the nations, and that's how we become enslaved in bondage. And then they come in our communities, they take over, and we become their servants. And but some people in our community are thinking, well, why don't we just take up arms? Most High said, no, He will fight for us. All we have to do is obey His voice.
Verse 24. Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but thou shalt utterly overthrow them, and quite break down their images.
So we're not supposed to go after, and this goes right into the politics. We are not supposed to go after other gods of other nations. We're not supposed to go after them. Actually, we're supposed to break down those images. And how can we do that nowadays? Crushing false images, even as the captain brought out, going after Jewish ideas, Christianity, Islam, okay, political parties. We have to crush those images of how we think as a nation we should run. Come, like crushing with the scriptures. Okay, breaking those false images down. Okay, and as we come into the ISUK, that's one of the things that I had to do, and other brothers had to do, is shut ourselves in the world. We had to crush those false images. I know I had to crush Christianity in my mind. Still crushing.
You hear brothers and sisters worshiping holidays, you supposed to tell them that you're supposed to do that. You're how holy it is.
Come. Bring brother. What the brother brought out is excellent. It's like the holidays. We're supposed to crush those. If they talk about I'm doing Halloween and Thanksgiving, we're supposed to crush those images, especially with our people. Okay, because that's not what we're supposed to do.
If I could add.
Come, sir.
If I could add also, you're absolutely right. You want to the images like Caesar Borgia.
Come.
You start breaking down the scriptures of how Yahushua is a black man, Jesus Christ.
Come.
That's how you tear down the image, telling the truth behind the image,
Come,
where it comes from, the history of it,
Come.
and how it's against the Lord or what have you.
Come.
That's also crushing their images or what have you.
Come.
The false apostles. That's the Borgia family. You break that down, you're crushing their absolutely, because the society really believes that those images are accurate.
Come.
You just bring out the truth. You absolutely crushing that entire religion. You know what I'm saying? Good.
Verse 25. And ye shall serve the Lord your God, and He shall bless thy bread and thy water, and I will take sickness away from this midst of thee. Verse 26. There shall nothing cast their young, nor barren nor be barren. In thy land, the number of thy days I will fulfill.
And if I may just add too, in our community right now, we got two extremes. We got sisters that have been fooled and tricked by the society to think that abortion's okay. And then we got the other sisters we got sisters in our community that can't even have children due to the fibroids and other problems. But the Most High is saying, if we turn back to the law statute, we won't have sisters that are unable to have children, that are barren and have fertility problems. I mean, because if you look at how the doctors treat especially our Black and Hispanic sisters today, the first thing they want to do when they have fertility problems is give them a hysterectomy.
Right.
They don't even want to teach them how to care for themselves. First thing they want to do, and they convince certain of these sisters to take out body parts and stuff and say, well, you'll function better.
Right.
We got lots of sisters out here that's not even, having children due to that.
And don't forget about they trying to sterilize women in prisons so they can get a lesser sentence.
Come.
If you agree to get sterilized, they'll give you a lesser sentence.
Come.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Verse 27. I will send my fear before thee, and will destroy all the people to whom thou shalt come, and I will make all thine enemies turn their backs unto thee. Verse
Mighty. Asha, present thyself.
Yasha, Banga, Banya Shala.
Yasha, Banga, Banyasha.
Yabashina Shabakta.
Yahaba Shivya Shabrakata. Yushabin. We're now in Exodus chapter 23, verse 28 in the Hebrew, verse 28 through 33 in the Hebrew, and then we'll read in the English. Exodus chapter 23, verse 28. Washalakafya, Af, Hatazar Ra'aiha, Lapanyaka, Wagarasha, Af, Hakalya, Af, Hakanaanya, Wa'af, Akahya, Malapanyaka, verse 29. La'ah, Agarashanwa, Mapanyaka, Bashana, Akaf, Pan, the Hayah, Ha'arataza, Shamama, Warabah, Al-Yaka, Chayaf, Hashadah, verse 30. Ma'ait, Agarashani wa, Mapani Yaka, Ashar, Thapara, when a khalaf, Af, Ha'arataza, verse 31. Bashafya, Af, Gabolka, Yum, no, Slakia, Mayum, Slakia, let's see. Mayum, Sawap, Wa'ayum, Palashafyum, Wamadabar, I, Hanaha, Slakia, Hanahar, Slakia, Kaya, Athan, Bayatkum, Af, Yeshabya, Ha'arataza, Wagarashathamwa, Mapanyaka, verse 32. La'ah, Thakarath, Laham, Alahayaham, Barayath, verse 33. La'ah, Yeshabwa, Ba'aratazaka, Pan, Yakatayaawa, Aska, Laya, Kaya, Ibad, Af, Alahayaham, Kaya, Yahaya, Laka, Lamawakwash, Pa. Exodus chapter 24, verse 1. Wa'al, Mashah, Amar, Aliyah, Allah, Al, Yahweh, Atha, Ra'aharan, Nadab, Wa'abayahawa'ah, Washaba'ayim, Mazakwanya, Yasha'ala, Wahashafa Kalyatham. Let me say that again, it's long. Wahashafa Kalyaham. Marakao. And that's it. Yeah, just keep reading. Start with Exodus chapter 23, verse 28. And then keep reading.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 28. And I will send hornets before thee, which shall drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before thee. Verse 29. I will not drive them out from before thee in 1 year, lest the land become desolate, and the beasts of the field multiply against thee. Verse 30. By little and little I will drive them out from before thee, until thou be increased, and inherit the land. Verse 31. And I will set thy bounds from the Red Sea, even unto the sea of the Philistines, and from the desert unto the river. For I will deliver the inhabitants of the land unto your hand, and thou shalt drive them out before thee. Verse 32. Verse 32. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor with their gods. Verse 33. They shall not.
Right there. And you see right there, it says, you shall not make a covenant with them nor with their gods. When you are joining these political parties, you're making a covenant with them and their leaders. That's exactly what you're doing. Because when you make a covenant with somebody and their gods, that means you're going to follow their outline. And if you see what we make the mistake in our community, following a Democrat or a Republican or being affiliated with certain groups, because that means we're going to abide by their laws, which is going to be contrary to the Most High.
They shall not dwell in thy land, lest they make thee sin against me. For if thou serve their gods, it will surely be a snare unto thee.
So like when you join Christianity, you're going against the Most High. That's exactly what it says. Christianity makes you sin against the Most High. Islam makes you sin against the Most High.
Judaism
makes you sin against the Most High. Because you're going after their gods. Okay? And it says it right here. Okay? It will make you sin against the Most High.
Exodus chapter 24, verse 1. And he said unto Moses, Come unto the Lord, thou and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, and the 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship ye afar off. Verse 2. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come near the Lord, but they shall not come nigh, neither shall the people go up with him.
You see the order here? See, the Christianity will cause the Most High to kill you. Because in Christianity, it's like anybody can come up and draw near. You see, this is order here. And as Aaron, as priests and all that, they could only come a certain distance, and then Moses could draw near. Okay? There was a certain, so if you have those Christianity beliefs, see, in Christianity, there's no order. In Christianity, the woman is actually, the wife's actually ahead of the husband. And so the wife thinks she can just go approach the Most High. She'll get killed for that. There's no order there. Christianity will make you believe that. And that's why you see in the Christian churches, who's leading? The woman. She's the pastor. The husband's sitting there being quiet. If you have that attitude, you'll get killed for that. See, there's order here. The Most High is showing order right here. Even the priests and all them, they could only come to Moses could draw them closest. It's order there. Keep going.
Verse 2. And Moses alone shall come near the Lord, but they shall not come nigh, neither. Verse 3. And Moses came and told the people of all the words of the Lord, and all the judgments, and all the people answered with one voice, and said, All the words which the Lord hath said will we do.
This is kind of like the marriage covenant, because we made an agreement with the Most High right here. This shows that we did make an agreement. Okay? And this, we pretty much told him through our words that, hey, we agreed to this covenant. Everything you say, this is like saying I do. Okay? The Most High laid out the order, and we agreed to it. You have a question? That's exactly right. And that's what we said on the mountain. Everything you say, we will do. We agreed to it. Keep going. Verse 4.
And Moses wrote all the words of the Lord, and rose up early in the morning, and builded an altar under the hill, and 12 pillars according to the 12 tribes of Israel. Verse 5. And he set young men of the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord. Verse 6. And he sent young men of the children of Israel.
That's verse 5.
And Moses took half of the blood and put it in the basins, and half of the blood and sprinkled on the altar.
Okay, read 5 again. Go ahead and read 5.
Verse 5. And he sent young men and the children of Israel, which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in the basins, and half of the blood he sprinkled on the altar. Verse 7. And he took the book of the covenant and read in the audience of the people, and they said, all that the Lord hath said will we do, and be obedient.
Okay, notice right again, we said, I do. Okay, we agreed to this. Okay, we agreed to this. Keep going.
Verse 8. And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people, and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord hath made with you concerning all these words.
Amaya? Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. Yahweh Hashem Yashab Rakah.
How about Hashem Yashab? Yeah.
How about Hashem Yashab? Yeah.
How about Hashem Yashab? Yeah.
Amadia, that's everybody. Amadia, Wapanya, Hakwadam. Means rise and face the east. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew, and then in the English.
Avanau.
Avanau.
Shabbat Shemai.
Shabbat Shemai.
Gosh.
Shmekah.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shemkah.
Yahweh.
Waka.
Alakbaka.
Taba'ah.
Atazaka. Hayah.
Aisha.
Marakaza.
Kawa. Hayah.
Hayah.
Hashemai. Thunder now.
Come. Call. The one. Wasalak now. Kawaki now. Walking out. Wala'ah. Bana Saywan, Ball, Shayna, Ka, Malakwa, Wahala, Lalium, Amon.
And in the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread.
Our daily bread.
Forgive us our debts.
Forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever. So be it. Sar, which means turn. Sisters Yeshavian. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Amani Shabbat, Amani, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Yam Yam Matah, Sar, which means to turn. Sisters, Amani. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sister. Men of Israel, Amani Shabbat, Amani. Barak! Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Yam in the top, class is missed.
I kind of messed up on a part because I said.
Stop this.